You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
Well, hello, lovelies. Welcome back to another episode of Get Lean and Lit with Lindy. It's good to have you here. So this is a podcast targeted to women over 40 who are ready to get healthy, who want to build muscle, who may have some fat to lose, and who actually want to enjoy their lives throughout the process. It does not have to be torturous. So I'm Lindy, and I'm really excited to have you guys here. I just want to emphasize that we're not chasing quick fixes. We're not focused on detox teas, quick 10-day transformations, or workouts that can leave us unable to walk for days. That is not what we're about. We are about getting healthy by building healthy habits and learning kind of how our body works and things that are going to be the most efficient for us to do to stay healthy. Because let's be honest, pretty much 40 and beyond, and sometimes even younger than 40, we have so much going on in our regular everyday lives that we don't need a workout program that's going to feel like a full-time job. That is not what any of us are signing up for. But today we're going to be talking about something that I think is one of the biggest game changers for women as we age. I'm going to be talking about what strength exercises you actually need to efficiently build muscle and still live your life. Okay. Now, before somebody on Instagram or out in the world says they're getting upset because there's more than 6 exercises in the world, I get it. There are thousands of different ways to train your body. But here is the truth from my perspective. You do not need to overcomplicate things. You just really need to do what's going to be most effective. You need exercises that are going to train your major muscle groups, that are going to help you to build strength, that are going to protect your bones and support your metabolism, of course, and make you feel like a strong and capable woman. That's really the goal here. And spoiler alert, the basics really work. The basics. They worked 50 years ago and they still work today. So when you come across through doom scrolling or however you approach your social media, if you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, whatever, and you see a fitness influencer trying to sell you some new latest and greatest secret methods to exercising, I say, no, don't go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to tell you today what you need to focus on and what is going to be most effective with the least amount of pain to get there. So grab your notebook, grab your coffee, your water, your protein shake, whatever your beverage of choice is today, and let's get into it. So I want to start with why strength training even matters as we age. I talk a lot about strength training on this podcast. So let's break it down. Let's break it all the way down as to why strength training matters as you age. So the basics of why. If you're listening You're probably thinking, I'm busy, I have a ton of work, I have kids, I have aging parents, I have a million responsibilities. And I totally get that. I'm in the same position. You might be asking, do I really need to lift weights, Lindy? My clear answer is yes, absolutely, you do. And not because you need to look a certain way. That's not really what it's about. You need strength because your future self deserves strength, and it really depends on it. Your future health rests on how much muscle you have on your frame. So, if you're a regular listener of this podcast, you already know that after 40, muscle becomes incredibly important. It just becomes super important. It takes on an outsized role in our health. We naturally lose muscle as we age. And if we don't actively work super hard to maintain it, it dissipates over time. And when I talk about loving muscle, I'm just not talking about I love muscle because I want to look good in my jeans. That is not what I'm talking about. I love muscle because muscle helps you move better. It helps you stay independent longer. It supports your aging joints. It maintains a healthy metabolism, and it improves your insulin sensitivity, which tends to go left as we get older. It also protects against age-related decline in general. I know we've all seen those people who are elderly, who are kind of hunched over, their posture is horrible. They can barely move, they're shuffling around. Sometimes they're in a wheelchair or on a walker. A lot of those people have lost muscle mass over time and never built it back up. So that's kind of the position that they find themselves in. And here's something I wish that every woman understood. You will absolutely not bulk up. You will not get bulky by lifting weights. That is such a myth. You are building a body that allows you to carry groceries, to put your luggage in the overhead bin when you're on a trip, play with your grandchildren, your children, hike, travel, and just to live your life. So the goal is not to become a bodybuilder. That's not the goal. The goal is to become the strongest version of yourself that you can. So here's my first story time. You guys know I always have a couple stories for you guys in every episode. This is my first one. I'm going to tell you guys a personal story. So for years, lots of women, including me, were taught that if you wanted to lose weight, you wanted to lose fat, that you needed to do more cardio. That was like imprinted on our brains, cardio, cardio, cardio. So it's more running on the treadmill, more hours on the elliptical, just more sweating in general, getting your heart rate up. And don't get me wrong, cardio is great. I love cardio. I love walking. I love the elliptical. I love riding my bike. I love playing pickleball several times a week. I just love being active in general because movement definitely matters. But I remember realizing that I could spend all this time exercising, sweating, huffing and puffing, running around, and still not change my body composition, i.e., not build muscle the way I wanted to do. So I was moving, but I wasn't giving my muscles a reason to stick around. So the light bulb moment for me, this was years ago, but the light bulb moment for me was understanding that muscle is something that you have to build and maintain intentionally. It does not just happen by chance or happenstance. You have to have a strategy, you have to have a plan, you have to know what you're doing, and you have to be committed to it. So once I started prioritizing strength training myself, my goals shifted. It wasn't anymore just about burning calories. It became building something. And that something is muscles. And that mindset, my lovelies, changed everything for me. And I'm going to encourage you to think about that in your life. Okay, I'm going to break down the 6 strength training movements that you actually need to build muscle efficiently. Not 45, not 50, 6. It's time to get real practical. If I had to build the perfect strength training program for a woman over 40 using only the essential moves, I would focus on just 6 movement patterns, just 6, not 25. Hello, not 25 exercises, but just 6 movement patterns. So I want you guys to get your pens, your pads out, and I'm going to break it down. So movement pattern number 1 is a squat pattern. And we all know what a squat is, right? I hope we all know what a squat is. It's bending your body down and lifting your body back up. Examples of this movement pattern are goblet squats. It could be a leg press, box squats, even body weight squats. Those all fit into the squat pattern. So squats train your glutes, your quads, and even your core. And ladies, we definitely need strong legs and strong glutes. It's not because we're trying to fit into some unrealistic beauty standard. Again, that's not what it is. We need strong lower bodies because strong legs equate to freedom. Strong legs help us get up off the floor. They help us climb stairs, to travel independently, and to stay active. So squat, that's a non-negotiable. The squat pattern is number 1. Number 2 on my list is the hinge pattern. So examples of a hinge pattern are Romanian deadlifts, regular deadlifts, hip thrusts, and kettlebell swings. So I'm going to list a whole bunch of exercises for you guys today. If you don't know what these exercises look like or how to do them, Google is your friend. Get on Google, go on YouTube. All of these exercises are very, very fundamental and basic. And if you go on the Google or YouTube, you will find good form to follow and copy that form. Okay, so picture this. Back to the hinge pattern. The hinge is the movement where you are pushing your hips back. So this is one of the most important movements for building your booty, your booty. And yes, we're talking about building your glutes because your glutes are not just there to look good in your Lululemon leggings. Okay, that's not really what the purpose of your glutes are for. These are very, very powerful muscles that really support your hips and they support your back. So number 2 is the hinge pattern. Get into that. Number 3 is push exercises. So examples of push exercises are, of course, push-ups, my favorite, chest press, and a shoulder press. Any type of pressing movement is considered a push exercise. So I know a lot of women avoid doing upper body training because they don't want big arms and they don't want to look masculine. We just need to kill that fear. Just kill it dead, because building noticeable muscles actually takes years. It takes years of intentional training and nutrition that is on point. So we're not talking about going to an extreme. If you're doing an exercise within a push pattern with a couple of barbells or dumbbells, you're not accidentally going to turn into a professional bodybuilder. That takes a whole nother level of work, commitment, planning, etc. So you're not going to turn into a bodybuilder. Push movements build strength just for your real life, like pushing doors, pushing a stroller, lifting objects, and just really feeling capable of doing the physical things that you want to do in your life. So push movements are critical. And then pull exercises is number 4. So if you're taking notes, we're on number 4, pull exercises. So examples of pull exercises are rows, lat pull downs, and assisted pull-ups. These are all examples of pull exercises. And pulling movements are really essential to any well-rounded strength training program. They really are, because they really help improve your posture and they strengthen your back. And back is one of your biggest muscles. And posture, as I was saying before, as we age, you can tend to round over, which we don't want. We don't want to be hunched over. We want to be standing upright as we age. So pull exercises help to improve and strengthen your back. Well, since I kind of got on the topic of posture, let's talk about posture for a second. Many of us spend hours sitting at a computer, looking down at our phones, driving in our cars. A stronger back that's built through the pull exercises that I mentioned helps counter all of that. So just the society and the culture that we live in today, a lot of us are continuously on our computers, or you might be sitting to watch TV on Netflix or whatever it is. You're sitting in a stationary position. And you're going to need an exercise that's going to get your spine back in shape and pull your back muscles upright. So that's pull exercises. That's number 4. Number 5 is carry exercises. So examples of carry exercises are farmer carries and suitcase carries. Now, these carries are kind of overlooked. They are somewhat underrated too. They're not necessarily thought of in a conventional way, but carrying heavy things is one of the most functional things that you can do as a human. So think about it. You carry your grocery bags. And if you don't want to make 50,000 trips, you might load up bags on one arm and bags on the other arm. So carrying your groceries is a fundamental carry exercise. Carrying your luggage up and down stairs as you're going to get on your Uber or going to get in your car, your ride to the airport. Carrying a child, carrying a grandchild, carrying your pet. I have a little dog that wants to be carried everywhere. She only weighs 9 pounds, but I'm still carrying her around a lot. So carrying is experienced throughout many aspects of our lives. And carry training, as I said, farmer carries, suitcase carries, those types of exercises build grip strength, they build core stability, and they really build your confidence because you know that you can handle whatever it is you're trying to do out in the world from a carrying perspective. So carry exercises is number 5. Number 6 is core training. And examples of core training, I have to confess, I don't like core training all that much, but I know it's necessary, so I do it. And it's kind of hard too, because examples are planks, dead bugs, Russian twists, Pallof presses. There's lots of different core exercises that you can do. And to me, your core is not just about having visible abs. Do we all want visible abs? Of course we want visible abs, but that's not really what it's all about. Your core is a foundation of all of your movement. So a strong core will help with your balance, with your stability, and in also protecting your back. So don't skip core. There's a kind of a joke out there, never skip leg day. I have a belief that you should never skip core day. And core day should be 2 to 3 times a week. Okay, story time number 2. One of the biggest excuses women tell me all the time, I hear this like literally all the time about exercise, is that they don't have enough time. There's not enough time in the day to exercise. I get it, because life is super busy for most of us, but here is what I've learned over time. You do not need to do a 2-hour workout every time you endeavor to work out. What you really need is consistency. So a very focused 45-minute strength workout, just done a few times a week, can create incredible results. I've had days where my schedule was jam-packed, my energy was kind of shady, and my motivation was nowhere to be found. That can happen to even people like me who like to exercise, who love to exercise. But I learned that showing up imperfectly beats waiting for the perfect time to do it. So the women who I see who transform their health and who transform their bodies are usually not the ones who are doing every single thing perfectly. They're usually the ones who show up over and over and over again. It's the consistency. Okay, so how exactly do you take this information and structure your workouts? What does it look like in real life? A simple full body workout could be this simple. Exercise 1 can be a squat pattern. Exercise 2, a hinge movement. Exercise 3, a push movement. Exercise 4, a pull movement. Exercise 5, a carry movement. And exercise 6, a core movement. That's it. 3 sets of each exercise. But you have to be sure that you're using a weight that's actually challenging you. Using a 5-pound dumbbell is not doing anything. I'm sorry. It's just not. So you have to pick weights that are going to challenge you. Whatever it is for you, that's a challenge. It's a personal thing. You do 3 sets of each. And here is a very, very important point. Your workout has to progress over time. I did a whole podcast on progressive resistance, but your workout has to progress over time. So you should slowly increase the weight, the repetitions, or the difficulty in some way to keep your program working for you. Because your body adapts. Your body is super smart. It adapts to what you're doing. And if you always lift the same 5 or 10 pound dumbbell forever and ever and ever, your body has absolutely no reason to change at all. So challenge yourself. Do it safely, do it progressively, and do it consistently. Okay? I think one of the biggest mindset shifts that women over 40 can make is moving away from chasing a smaller body. You know, we're all about weight loss in society, but moving away from that, moving away from chasing a smaller body toward building a stronger body as a mindset shift. Because something really magical happens when you start lifting heavy things. You begin to trust yourself, you feel strong, you feel capable, and you notice that you can carry things a lot easier, you feel more confident, and as a bonus, yeah, your body changes too. Your body will change too. But the best part is realizing that you're not fighting your body anymore. You are working with your body. You're investing in it. You're building a body that supports the life that you want to live. So if you remember nothing else from today's episode, remember this. You don't need a fancy strength training plan with 50 exercises. You just don't. You don't need anything complicated. You don't need the newest fitness trend. You really just need to stick to the basics. The squat, the hinge, the push, the pull, the carry, the core. Just the basics. Master those movements and you will get stronger. Point blank, period. Stay consistent. Give yourself time because the goal isn't just to lose weight. That is not the only goal. The goal is to become the woman who can do more, enjoy more, and feel amazing in your body for decades to come. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for joining me on Get Lean and Lit with Lindy. And if this episode helped you in any way, please share it with a friend who needs a reminder that strength is the goal, not perfection. And until next time, keep it real, keep it consistent, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.
Boom! I just earned a $600 bonus with an Old National Bank checking account.
You got this.
I do?
Earn up to a $600 bonus when you open an eligible checking account and complete qualifying activities. Old National Bank. Just another reason to get old.
Can you say bonus?
We talk a lot about meeting people where they're at. And that's always had meaning to me. But earlier this year, that really took a new shape. I really value the fact that we have a space where people can come in and to receive these services, but not all people feel safe anymore. Coming out, going places, and just re-looking at what does it truly mean to meet people where they're at, and how do we effectively do that, has been a really big part of what this year has looked like for us.
Sometimes we believe those lies, that we are no good, that maybe, this is all there is. And when I got sober, I realized, no, there's something more fighting for. And I'm out here every day fighting for it, for myself, for the women in my community, whom I love. But this Waymakers is a big part of that. So I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful. And I couldn't have done it without being sober, of course, and, having the good support, because nobody can do it alone.
For folks who are wondering, what's on my ballot? Sure, I've heard of these high-profile things, but are there local things on my ballot? We've got a good website. It's mnvotes.gov, mnvotes.gov, and right there you'll see you can enter your address, and up will pop a sample ballot. So if you're wondering, hey, are we even voting on county commissioner or mayor or whatever it is, look no further, mnvotes.gov, type in your address, and up will pop a sample ballot. It'll show you every office and every candidate for that office. And if they gave us a website, we'll link you right to that website too.
Once upon a time, there was a business with dragons to slay, trash that kept piling up, and waste at every turn.
I can help with that. Reducing waste is easy, you see. And the best part is that it's totally free.
If only it were that easy.
It's not magic. A real expert from Biz Recycling can help you find ways to reduce waste and save money at your business. Schedule a free site visit and get started today.